This is just a short little sort of barbecue technique that I use. Uh, First of all, I have a little small smoker, but I use it as a barbecue grill. And the best coals I've found to use is B&B coals, charcoal briquettes. And I also use hickory smoked chips. Along with that, helps to give me a little smoke flavor. You can pick whatever your favorite smoke you want. The first thing I do is I put it in the chimney, put the coals out in the chimney, and get them all hot and smoky. And once they start to smoke, you know that you're getting close, especially once you start seeing a little flame come up to the top. The next thing we want to do now is once you see that flame coming up, just go ahead and pour them in your pit. And once you do that, you're pretty much ready to get started. A couple more little techniques that you want to make sure you check on after that point. So go ahead and put the rest of the pit together, put the lid on, and you want to make sure you open up the holes. This pit has 3 air holes at the bottom plus 1 at the top. So I normally use that to make sure it's on. Once the temperature starts to heat up, I normally like to run about 225, between 225 and 250. And that's a pretty good temperature. And one thing about the smoke, it will stay there. Next thing we want to do is throw some meat on. Right now we're firing up a few hamburgers and a link of sausage. And later on we'll put on a couple of little small steaks. But for now, this is going to be our first choice. And Jackie really seals that meat really well. Once she seasons it, she puts it in the refrigerator, and we do that for overnight. That way the season can really soak into the meat. So that's the best thing. Another thing you want to make sure you do is never overcrowd your pit. You always want to have some airspace in there. I've seen sometimes people put just too much meat on the pit. Next thing that I want to do now, while the meat is on the pit for the first time, this is when the best time to put your smoke in. Smoke always is best to put in at least the first 15-20 minutes of the meat. That way when it starts to heat, starts to build up, the smoke can enter the meat really quick. You don't want to wait until your meat is half cooked to introduce any chips to your meat. So that's a little tip. Now that it's been smoking, I always time my meat. Some people say, oh, you don't have to do that. But I keep it on there like every 10 minutes, I'll check it. And once again, we're sitting out here enjoying the backyard, enjoying the barbecue. So what are we cooking today anyway?
Hamburgers, pork steaks, and a half a link sausage for breakfast in the morning.
Sounds good. I can't wait till in the morning. Okay, we'll be checking the barbecue out in a little bit. We'll see how we're doing. So we're gonna check back in a little bit later. Now as we get back to the meat on the pit, it's been about 20 minutes, and it doesn't take really long to cook beef. Matter of fact, beef cooks at 147 degrees. I normally keep it on there to get about 150, 155. That way all of the juices are still in your meat and you don't dry them out. So you can't just eyeball meat. Some people think they're really good where they can just eyeball meat. But even the professional chefs is going to always carry a thermometer around. So I would urge you, if you always want to have a good barbecue and not overcook or undercook your meat, just get your decent thermometer and use that to check the meat. I even use it to check the sausage, even though these are pre-cooked sausage, but it's still good just to see how warm the temperature is. At least you know the heat has come all the way through it. And another 10 minutes later, then I'll check. And it looks like the last time, everything looks good. So this meat is about ready to take off. So we're going to go ahead and take it off now. So that's 4 burgers and 1 link sausage for breakfast in the morning. So that'll do. And after that's done, we'll go ahead on and throw on some more meat for our second cooking. As I stated before, you don't want to overcrowd your pit. So here we go with the second cooking. And we're going to throw on a couple of steaks, beef steaks. Now this is beef. I'm sorry, this is pork steaks. This is not beef steaks. This is pork steaks. And you want to cook the pork steaks at about 165 degrees. That way you know it's cooked, but it's not cooked so much where it becomes hard. It'll still be tender. And this, because these steaks are so thin, it's not going to take very long. So as you see, it's starting to smoke already. And the same thing here, we put a little bit, I didn't show you this time around, but we did put some more chips in the smoker part at the bottom to get that smoke going. So we let that sit for about another 10 minutes, and then we go and we check it again. Now this is about the 3rd time, or maybe even the 4th time I've checked the meat on the pit. I don't want you to think that I'm taking it off too early, but it's been there now for a while, so now I'm checking the temperature, and I'm getting roughly about 160, 155, 160 right now. It's pretty close. So it's almost time, so I'll leave it there for about maybe 1 minute. And now it's ready to take off. Once you take it off, put it in a nice bowl, and if you put some foil on top,